Hello everyone, welcome back to Fableheim and Knock on the Coffin Lid, the Nightmares of Melenis. Today is a magnificent day, because today the heroine of Vanadis challenges the final tarot. And as Nazoth says, all eyes shall be open. By completing the Lovers, the game's greatest secret will be unraveled. But this is not the end. So, if you've been enjoying the series thus far and are as excited as I am to open the gate to the end, feel free to like the video. It does help out the channel. So the Lovers. The pet does not gain taunt upon being summoned and does not take damage. To love your neighbor, you need to share that pain. Now, in my mind, there are two ways we can approach this. We can try and play a more defensive-oriented Vanadis, or we can go to the other extreme and kill them. Connection cannot be reduced by cards or skills, but if connection is more than 20, it is reduced to 20 at the start of the turn. Recalling the pet increases the damage from Frostbite by 1. We, of course, are playing as Elevated Raven's Sister. It is my favorite variant of Vanadis, unless I have to change, but we'll see. The oldest cult keeper will help his beloved to pass this test when she grants his heart's desire. Ah, would you look at that lover? Bah. Love is blind. So are you suggesting that I make his heart's desire come true? You realize there is a limit to everything, don't you? I suggest that you first find out his heart's desire. All right, I'll go to the Rotten Bog and ask the cult keeper what he needs. But I'm warning you, Mortis, don't even hope for. Do not panic. I am sure it is not what you are thinking. Aw, Vanadis, you don't want to get it down with an undead monstrosity? Not everyone's kink, for sure. This seems good. I think max HP would be very helpful here. We'll take it. That is quite the increase. Okay, so we are heading to the Rotten Bog. I can't believe there's still an unknown event. 2 unknown events here. Well, let's go fill in the question mark, shall we? So, Raven's Sister. The reason why I chose this as a just run it down.
So, who do you say you met? Oh, it's not important anymore.
I mean, do I have to explain after I just showcased that? Raven's Sister can do kind of like the most damage the most immediately. In the immediacy. She doesn't need extra tools and tricks and traps in order to deal a truly heinous amount of damage, unlike the other variants. I'm counting. I believe the highest possible damage ceiling is from the Fox, but you need a lot of setup for that. Too much setup for that. So we're not going to go for that. Also, another thing worth noting. Ooh. Vanada's first attack is played twice. I wish I had a good Vanada. I mean, this isn't awful. Because it... Okay, sure. That could actually be pretty good. Ignore damage taken. The pet can't be attacked. I'll keep the Lucky Sword for now until we upgrade the attack, though. Because right now it does nothing. I kind of lost my train of thought thinking about the weapon. I managed to ingratiate myself with elves who had not forgotten their friendship with humans. Personally, I've never seen this value in this friendship because true friendship must be strong, and elves cannot be trusted. So in the end, I was right. Anyway, I managed to get supper and shelter for the night by the warmth of fire. At parting, I promised them that I'd become the next ruler of the Northern Gate and beat the dwarves out of the frontier. Perhaps I'll do that. Perhaps. But perhaps not. So yeah, this is what we want to upgrade. We want Magic Blow into... I've been doing a lot of burning. Should we try Frostbite again? Since they fixed Frostbite? Nah. We're going to the swamp. Let's set them on fire. They probably like the cold. It's probably increased summon, but we'll go with Frosted Wings here. We're using Hugin exclusively, of course, for the his DPS, so Cool. If I had the longbow equipped, this would actually be really... Uh-oh. Really good. I don't think we care, do we? Nope.
Easy.
No, we do not. Is this the good one, or is it the other one? Guess a fire might not be bad. I really don't like the Vanadis' various remove frostbite from enemies and get stuff. I haven't encountered this as Vanadis. Interesting. Looting is normal business for the bandit that I once was. More than that, I was really good at finding all sorts of secret pockets and pulling out hidden money. One look at an elf's corpse was enough for me to know that no one had searched it. It was time to dust off my old, past skills. That's a lot of money. I had almost finished with the poor elf when I heard that someone was going to interrupt us. His tribesmen were approaching. The elven patrol caught me off guard, and worse than that, they mistook me for the murderer. Oh heavens, how could they? So there is one downside here.
He died
Just
on
kidding.
his own. It's not your fault.
Oh, that's so funny. I don't think we care. Jinkle hat, jinkle hat. One reason I didn't choose the fox is because Foxy Vanadis, of course, she gets evasion on herself and she can reapply it consistently. However, oh, the raven booties. However, no matter how many stacks she has, once she's hit, it triggers all of them at once, so she can only block one attack. Whereas I start with 3 because we are elevated. So life is good. Start of the turn, replace all enemies, breach with frostbite. This could be okay if I pick up piercing stuff, but whatever. We're going to go here to see the events. It seems that elves ambush bandits by sending out patrols on the roads, as if they did not have bigger troubles. They're being driven out of the frontier by dwarves and still keep chasing desperate poor folks. I try to avoid these patrols, but it is not always possible to spot them before they spot you. Elves have sharp eyesight. When one of them aimed a bow at me, I stopped and put my hands up. The scouts come out of the hide and headed to me. Let me put on this bow. So, whenever we make an attack, it'll be played twice. Shoot. Oh, did I win? Nice. I drew my bow, took aim, and fired. The distance was quite long. I hit them, and they hit me too. It was already impossible to get closer, so I would not have had time to reach them. All that remained was only to shoot or to run away. Nice. I hit, and they missed. Nice. Can I upgrade my full deck through this? I hit, and they missed. I lost 15 health. Oh no. I missed, but they hit me. It hurts. I missed, but they hit me. It hurts. No one could hit their targets. No one could hit their targets. Uh-oh. I think I'm going to die to this. They were all dead. The final shot put a decisive end to the story. I removed the arrow from the bowstring. It was over. Wow. Good fun. You know, Volcano might actually be okay. Drawing is usually a good shot, but ooh, and we have the Jingle armor. So the Jingle hat. Gain 1 evasion, increase healing from cards and items by 30% if there's evasion on the hero. I don't think I have any heal at the moment. But Vanadis does have some. And we got the Jingle armor to increase our max health by 20, and at the start of battle, move a random talent to hand. We currently don't have any, but Vanadis also has access to a few powerful talents. And with the 2-piece, increase damage up by 2 for each evasion on the hero. Nice. I don't think we want the special card, and we don't want the special armor, so I think we'll just upgrade 2 cards. It's not YOLO, is it? No, it's not. Right? No, it's not. Fantastic. Cool. I do like this. This is very strong, especially if we can find any form of strength, which I don't think we have at the moment. And we might as well upgrade comm as well. That was a sentence of all time. The reason we want to upgrade this is because the sooner we can get to 20 connection, the better. I don't really care for owner's prey. I guess a fire could be good. I mean, 10 burning is a lot. It's still... You know what? I probably shouldn't pick that up. It's so much worse than our other ability with the amount of connection we have. We'll increase the summon because now we have 6, which is actually insane. I'm honestly surprised they didn't nerf it along the way. Elves try not to advertise that their well-developed intellectual society is home to head collectors. Excessive respect for one's own traditions can easily lead to a compulsive urge to preserve even the most obscure, primitive atavisms, as we can see in the case of Cutthroats. I wonder what he was going to do with my head. Does he think it would look good on the wall above his fireplace? Because, well, it would. Okay, so this is the first each turn, right?
The good old elven tradition is collecting severed heads.
I can play almost every card in hand. Is it worth doing this? Probably. Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't upgrade this. It might not be. Fire. And there's some frostbite. Now we have 4 evasion, so we can block 4 attacks. And we have a 30% health heal, so that's pretty good. Once again, this first attack is going to deal damage twice. At least it should have. I honestly don't know if it did. We're going to trigger the next phase of the fight because he takes this at the start of the turn. And now we have to get through a lot of attacks. This might actually just do it. Hold on. Unbelievable. Magnifique, in fact. Boom. Get owned. Elevated Raven Sister. Ooh, the knowledge of war could be exceptional too. Upon dealing health damage, actually 1 connection until the end of the turn. Man, if only this doesn't cost 3 mana. It's so good. Our battles are kind of ending before this really comes into play, though. This might be a knowledge of war angle to just have a defensive capability. Ooh, the bone bow. What if it's just this? It might just be the armor of invincibility. Because usually fights are not going to last very long. I think we just go armor of invincibility, team. Like, I might not even need this anymore. It might just be ogre. I don't particularly care for cold heat, but whatever. If I went to the Crimson Steppes, there are dwarves in my way. When I go to the swamp, I have to kill elves. I do it without regrets. Elves are as foul as the rotten bog itself. Okay. I'm just gonna go with this, I think. So... it's really him, huh? We're gonna get to the boss, we're gonna have a chat, and then have to redo this. So... let's fill in some question marks, shall we? Can't believe how many we still have. I remember what this one is. I know my way through here now, right? This, the debuff from the swamp on Vanitas absolutely sucks. Major donkey balls. We'll just go this way. It's easy. It's fun. There's a question mark at the end for some reason. This is 30 damage. Boop. Thank you, Hugin. We have 4 turns of invincibility.
Him off.
And then things go kind of downhill.
A fire show.
A fire show. Okay. Me and Hugin are immune, but at 20 connection, we deal 40 damage, right? Don't care. Cover could actually be useful for us once in our lifetime, but this is bonus draw. Reduce the cost, okay. That might actually be better than the Elven hat, now that we have the Armor of Invincibility. The Jingle Hat's a good defensive thing, but that's about it. Ooh. Now I can imagine what the Divine Might itself looks like. I think I saw one of its offspring, and it spurred my imagination. It's better to see such an abomination for yourself than keep guessing what it might look like. The abomination had laid disgusting eggs, covered with slime and throbbing from which smaller mites hatched. And no less disgusting. Yuck. I shudder at the memories. I hope this sight won't come back to me in my nightmares. I can shoot this thing once while it crawls towards me. I wonder where its weak spot is. It looks like one precise hit would burst open its pulsating abdomen, but in fact, arrows pierce it like jelly and dissolve inside of it without causing any damage. So I can shoot its paw. Do these look like paws? Or I can shoot its mouth. We'll aim for the mouth. I missed. Its mouth is constantly opening and closing, so it's difficult to pick the right moment. Well, in theory, its paw, quotation mark, is moving, right? Rude. Oh, I'm disarmed for turn 1 because I missed my shot. Fair enough. Cool. I had enough mana to play everything.
What was he expecting?
I don't know. I've got it as bullying the wildlife now that I have the Armor of Invincibility.
He should start worrying.
Alright. 88 burning. Just a casual 88 burning, no big deal. Cool. I don't know what else you want from me. We did it. Don't think that's relevant at all for me. I mean, it's actually probably pretty good if we were doing this without the Armor of Invincibility, but should I run it down mid instead? I can't believe... Has Vanitas ever gone to the swamp? As I walked through an ancient, quiet cemetery, I spiritually connected with the times when people were buried here. Ordinary people. Bog dwellers are not always used to pray to the might, drink ichor, and turn into groaning zombies. Their ancestors lived normal lives, died normal deaths, and their remains rested peacefully here, around me. And then the cemetery ghoul came out of a crypt and interrupted my philosophical musings, which was quite tactless of him. You did not let me finish my thought, you bastard. Tactless indeed. That's a good word.
Hunger gave the cowardly ghoul courage.
Alright. Good turn 1, bro. Brighton sucks, but I think Hugin just clutches this. 96 burning.
I'd recommend
Turn 2.
an elixir of purification.
Nice. I remembered which crypt that creature had crept out from, and decided to inspect his dwelling. It was dark inside, and there was so much junk there that it was impossible to remember everything. I remember some carved figurines, not very skillfully made, of swamp animals and people. Does our ghoul pass the time with handicrafts? But what is interesting is that the human figurines look very well fed, especially those of women. Well fed or pregnant? Do we have a fetish boy on our hands? Do we... We don't want this, right? This actually could be okay. In a weird sense of the word. Turn to ashes, huh? Interesting. That sounds awful. Alright, I'll take Fire Master. Ooh, the Raven Bow! Increase the damage dealt by Vanitas and the pet's attack by 1 for each of the target's frostbite. It's kind of difficult to use at the moment, but Upon receiving a curse in hand, restore 6 health and gain 1 strength. Not awful if I had the cursed booties. I feel like I say that a lot, but it's really true. Wait, what's the difference here? Are there 2 instances of it? Okay. I mean, we're immune, so I don't think I really care. I don't think it matters. Sometimes elven druids visit the Rotten Bog to worship the sacred tree. Oh my. To worship the sacred tree that grows here, and they sure know what's going on, but they don't tell anyone. I wonder why. I pulled a pilgrim out of the swamp where he was hopelessly stuck. Once on firm ground again, he wanted to endow me with the blessings of the forest guardian spirits. Of course, I was fine with it. Didn't ask him any awkward questions. It's strange that I never thought about it before. About what? Pilgrims cannot help but see what is going on in the Rotten Bog, but for some reason they don't tell anyone about it. And they come back alive from there. Well, we cannot be sure about that, but let us assume they do. Maybe you'll ask the druid. I'm afraid he won't like this question, and I'll be left without a blessing. Perhaps not. We do know, thanks to Best Boy Bjorn, that the cultists of the Tree of Life captive. That's why the druids do what they say. An old ruined church towering over the trees in the swamp is a symbol of the power that the supreme gods have lost. A mysterious, ancient monster race rose from the abyss and completely deprived them of power in this truly God's forsaken place. Since then, the Rotten Bog has belonged to the might, and the church, with all its priests and parishioners, also belong only to the might. Oh, by the way, I feel like I should mention this since I complained about it. Kind of.
He should start worrying.
Oh. Incredible. One of the reasons that Vonatus has so few things done here in the swamp is that when the DLC... Like, I played when the game came out. I love knocking the coffin lid. Hopefully that's not too much of a surprise to anyone.
Death doesn't teach them anything.
And, so when it released into 1.0, I made a new save file. I played through a little bit of the story, and I knocked out the challenge mode, which is why I have all the elevated classes and whatnot. I do like Strength and Connection. But when the DLC released, The Nightmares of Melenis, they had to... Is this only 40 now, or is that just for Vonatus? Wasn't it like 80 or 100? They had to reset all event progress, or else it would have bugged out. Which, of course, was an unfortunate, and I'm sure not an easy decision by the developers. Kind of made me glad that I really only did challenge mode, but that's also why I'm missing so many events, even though I've seen them all, and my save file remembers that I've seen them all. But that's why, so much is missing, in case you're curious. I've done pretty well here. This is actually a flaw. I could go punch the automaton right now. I feel strong enough. Well, I do wonder, I could kill Sigismund in 4 turns, right? Maybe? Possibly. The eldest cult keeper attacked me because he was afraid that I would tell people about the atrocities of the cultists. I tried to explain to him that I had more important things to do, and so did he, by the way, but to no avail. If it were up to me, I would leave these strange people in peace, but their days are numbered anyway. You want to fulfill my wishes? Great. But I can't entrust the first person I meet with my most intimate desires. First, you have to drink the ichor, receives the might's blessing, and do something for the benefit of our cult. Then I'll tell you my little secret. Haven't I done this already? Oh, this is for Bjorn, wasn't it? Alright. Round 2. So what's this question mark? Oh. The Heathlands community was 1/3 former outlaws and now homeless again. They returned to their old trade, and there's a gang of my former compatriots burying a chest in the woods. It is better not to be seen by the likes of them, so I hid in the shadows behind a tree until they were gone. They hid their shovels in the bushes nearby, which meant they were planning to come back. Learn the password. I caught up with the diggers and asked them if they knew anything about the golem's password. In response, they forced me to dig up the buried treasure and left with the chest, showering me with the choicest of insults. It was unlikely that the password was amongst them. Game, I know the password. Why would I ask them? I know the password. Whatever. I was lucky. Some rookie fell asleep on duty and let me slip by without a fight. However, I wanted to teach him a lesson and steal something. The sentry turned out to be a light sleeper, and he woke up at the worst possible time. Ah, well. No big deal. Bibbidi-bobbidi.
Their deaths bring you closer to your goal.
Nice. Unfortunately, I don't think exposures actually can be very good for us. I don't get an elven item for that? Ugh. Ugh. I don't even know what this does. Upon bringing a card, the pet gains 5 block. Burn, remove all negative save effects from Anonymous. Okay. An elven sniper cynically killed a prisoner right before my eyes. An ugly sight that perfectly shows the moral principles of our long-eared friends. Of course, the dwarves started this war themselves, and I do not feel sorry for them a bit. But their goal is to evict the elves, not to exterminate them. In this sense, dwarves are more humane, but that's not a compliment. True. Very annoying. I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. That's a good start. Okay.
Didn't even have time to let out the squeak.
Oh, it doesn't really matter on that end, I suppose. Okay. At least you have evasion for this. But the master archer shall perish. Okay. Nice. The will to live. This is very similar to knowledge of war. This might not be a bad idea to pick up just in case. Hey, the Raven booties are back! Look at that. And of course, take the practice targets. Although I'm not sure how much practice I'll get with it. But hey, it's always a good idea to... Why is it always you? Well, going into the Rotten Bog, it might not be a bad idea to get the Crimson set going, I guess. We could also just grab the Helmet of the Crimson Steps for Muddle and Ward, which is not a bad idea. You know, you know what? We'll take the Crimson Helmet. I'm heading to the Crimson Steps, or the Rotten Bog, where the Crimson set likes to hang out. And I do have Drain Strength, which is not a bad burn card to return to my hand at all. Honestly, I feel like this is not good. Like, I feel like this is a waste. We'll trade with the targets. And that will get our magic blows all upgraded to flaming blows, which I don't think I need to explain why that's a good thing. Especially since it's the second run. And of course, we'll get Hugin to add additional frostbite. And then we'll do all summons, I think. Champions never fight mediocre opponents, and I am pleased that one of them chose me. Apparently, the primordial spirits told him that I would rule the Northern Gate and determine the fate of the world. So, I'm on the right track. I have the Raven Boots, right? Okay, so we can get this bow equipped, and we can use it to turn our breach into frostbite, because this is a fight that's kind of on the longer end of things. Thank you, Hugin. Am I exhausted? Oh, I'm weakened. That's unfortunate. Get ready. I'm ready.
You've acquired a taste for buffs.
Your evasion's really helping you out here, bud. I could kill Sigismund. I could kill Sigismund.
You didn't fight fair. That's good.
I'm amazed that that actually did damage.
But why, oh
GG.
why did he die?
Killed through evasion and block. I don't really have a way to heal myself from Fire Master, which is kind of the problem about using it. This might just be a Bloody Hands angle. Although this can be really tricky as well. This could be a... do we permafrost? I don't think we care about any of this. No, I believe if this plays out... Ooh. Ooh. Maybe I'll just take the Raven Amulet, right? And we will take the medal, because this upgrades cards randomly, and we no longer have any adaptive choices to make. Life is looking swell. Cool. Although, again, if this plays out like it does for Bjorn... Oh. Then I'm going to have to come back a third time. I left the elves and dwarfs behind. Swamp monsters and vile cultists were waiting for me ahead. It is hard to believe that those monsters were once normal animals, and the cultists were once normal people. But apparently, that's how it is. The chthonic deity of the Rotten Bog is the caricature of a god. It turned humans into caricatures of humans, too. Alright. As I said, we know how this plays out. I don't really want to go through the Gone Astray if I don't have to. I don't think we'll science. Someone actually has to comment about this, how... I think if I just ignore this guy... and kill him with Hugin, life will be okay. They don't take spike damage when they evade, do they? I hope not. We're gonna find out. Nope, we're good. When I went through here on Percy last time, the way was revealed. The way forward was revealed. And I think that's because I found the way through on Bjorn, and that just kind of carried over. But we'll see. Okay. There's an argument to take the piercing attack, but... Oh? It is easy to get lost in fetid swamps. You only have to turn off the trail to find yourself in a natural maze. Few people will be lucky enough to come back, but I have traveled a lot. In my short life, I've been in much worse wilderness, and I've learned to navigate such terrain well. So Vonaldus doesn't have it revealed, but there's something about the story here. We'll go towards the lake. I went out to a small, picturesque lake. It was very cozy and beautiful there. So I decided to rest first and think about where to go later. Oh, okay, cool. We could take an ember. Follow the human footprints. Noticing human footprints, I followed them to an abandoned village, or rather, to what was left of it. People departed this place a long time ago, and damp rot has left almost nothing of the wooden buildings. Search the ruins. Looking for something useful, I ran across useless zombies aimlessly wandering among the ruins. There's the ember. I think... Wasn't this the one where... I like how I can play my entire hand. That brings me joy. Less than 9. Link value 24. That's the connection here. Wasn't this the one with the Might Queen's doll? Or am I thinking about something else? Good job, bud. Deal 4 damage with the same amount of burning. Strength does not act affected. Each ember in the draw pile increase damage for 4. It's really hard to make this work.
Did he like it?
Did he like it? I don't think so. Just because there's so few campfires along the way these days, but... The ragdoll. An old, half-rotten ragdoll. The Might Queen is anxious to get a hold of this thing. I found a ragdoll in one of the collapsed buildings, or rather, in what was left of it. When... Oh dear. When I picked it up... When I picked up the doll, there was a letter under it. We all need to leave this place as soon as possible, and it does not matter where we go. Of course, it's hard to flee our homes, but we have no choice. It all started when a girl came here from the neighboring village, where the strange people live. She was numb from horror and could not utter a word. We took her in and hid her from prying eyes. They were looking for her. The strange people came to us and asked about her, but we did not say anything. They told us the girl's name, Esha. After an oddly short time, Esha gave birth to a girl, but it was not an ordinary child, but a disgusting creature with spider legs. This scared the whole village very much, because strange things also started to happen to animals in the swamp. The nature around began to change. Despite her frightening appearance, the child grew up almost normal. The poor thing had it hard. Other children refused to play with her, and adults avoided her. She only had a silent mother and a rag doll, and soon she lost that too. When Esha realized that she was with the child again, she took her own life. And then the strange people from the neighboring village came again. They were armed, and they demanded that we give them the girl. I'm probably the only one who was against it. She cried and fought back. That small child had so much strength that an able-bodied man could not cope with her. But they took her anyway. Trying to get away, she dropped her only toy. Poor child. I'll leave the doll here in case she comes back. And it's time for us all to leave. I've heard a similar story in the Heathlands. Not specifically about the girl, but about how rapidly and terribly the boundless bogs are changing. The strange animals and people appeared there, who behaved in a frightening and hostile manner. That is when the cult was born. All those who had not succumbed to its corrupting influence fled to the Heathlands and founded a new settlement. While reading the letter, I heard a noise and looked up just in time to notice someone's shadow gliding across the trees. Someone was watching me. Now all the inhabitants know I have the doll. Oh. All the residents of the community stared at me as soon as I entered the village, and everyone asked, "Where are you taking the doll? Who do you want to give it to? The cult keeper?" Was that the wrong answer? Whoops.
You didn't fight fair. That's good.
I mean, maybe that was... So I've done this backwards, of course. Okay. Oh, he lived.
Doesn't teach them anything.
I think you're supposed to find out about this later.
Blast it all.
Like from the cult keeper? Wait a minute, but... I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm actually quite curious. Oh, I do like the goblin armor, though. Yeah. The goblin armor. And this would be an odd instance where the... would have been fine. Local people tied up a girl and left her at the mercy of the swamp mites to earn the blessing of their deity. They had been watching the ritual with ecstasy until I showed up. I was flattered by the attention. You do not often happen to outshine a bride herself at her wedding. To the Might Queen. Oh. This is also a fight. Is there no correct answer? Is the correct answer that there's no correct answer?
You didn't fight fair. That's good.
Oh, is he going to attack Hugin? Interesting. I guess that just because Hugin's immune doesn't mean that and doesn't have taunt doesn't mean the AI won't, for some reason, attack him. It's interesting. Oh. Okay, so you're dead. No, I meant that Asfana does. Oh well. The goblin armor gives us a bunch of wards, so we're chilling here, I think. Go away, Hugin. And voila.
Did you decide to have a rest?
Cool. The metal goes so well with meh. with the Ember Collection. Soul Relevance. Lighting in a jar. I get the feeling it doesn't matter who I say. They're gonna fight me anyway. When Anthony saw me, he stopped butchering a carcass and even refrained from his ridiculous jokes. Who I given the doll to? The Might Queen. I don't know.
The swamp cannibals are not ashamed of their culinary preferences.
Mm-hmm. Starts burning down Anthony, the fat pig. This should knock these two down, so if I can draw fire attacks. Cool. Oh, I knocked them all down. Cool. Vana's is so good. She's so strong. GG. Now the real question is, do I want... Ooh. Put frostbite on all enemies. This could be good. Is it really, though? I mean, if I upgrade it, it's instantly 20 damage. You'd rather play a fire attack. It's a good card. The problem is just I scale too high, you know? Sword of Weakness is also pretty good. Do I want this? Upon inflicting bleeding, increase max health by 10 to the battle. This is very strong, but I don't inflict bleeding, do I? No, I don't. I do not. Okay. Oh. That's fine. The ritualist, who usually asks me to rid his community of the cannibal neighbors, did not even mention them this time. I know you have the doll. Everyone knows. The doll and you is all the people are talking about in the swamps. Who are you going to give it to? The Might Queen. This thing rightfully belongs to her. Okay. Take a number. Do I have a choice, though? Because, like, this is the Cult Keeper. Oh. It is the Queen's doll. But you should have given it to the Keeper for the prophecy to come true. I know. Is this a difficult decision for you? My dear, when you take the throne of the Northern Gate, you'll have to make so many difficult decisions that this one will seem ridiculous to you. Who did you give the doll to? To the Cult Keeper. At last, this bitch will pay for everything. You should know how much I have endured because of her. She won't listen to anyone. Why do people love her? But now she'll become obedient like the lowest, groveling slave, and she will serve my cult well. I'm going to show her what I have. She'll become a good girl right away. If she doesn't, I'll burn the stupid doll in front of her. I hope it kills her. One day we'll find a suitable might bride who will give birth to a worthy queen, and not a misfit like her. Wow. I feel, a little bad about that, actually. Token, if there are no summoning points left, gain 4 insubstantiality. 10 balm and reduce the cost of all cards in the deck by 1. That is so good! Alright, I'm over it. Despite all the horror that is happening in the Rotten Bog, there might come a day when the people of the Northern Gate will envy the swamp cultists. The prospects here are grim. Either become the demon's food, or turn into a demon yourself, or be burned at the stake by the Brothers of Fire. It is a far cry from the Rotten Bog, where all they do is drink the ichor and pray to the might. Although soon the Fire Brothers might light their fires there, too. Alright. The oldest Cult Keeper needs the doll to blackmail the Might Queen. Yeah, I did that kind of like ahead of time, but it worked out in the end, you know? I would love to hit double merchant, I think. So, let's do it. The Fire Brothers raided a village on the outskirts of the Northern Gate. I was seething with indignation seeing how they herded the frightened people into the town hall, but then came events that made me change my attitude. One of those frightened people turned into a demon spawn before my very eyes. Who knows how many more Inquilines hide behind the mask of innocence? I don't normally do this. Normally I do it the other way because I want the full deck upgrade, but I don't think it matters for this particular run. We'll check the demon spawn. Although, it's worth noting, if I attacked the Brotherhood, we would have 2. Oh, I killed one of my allies. Whoops. I had 2 combats, which is better for money. But hey. Ooh, bad luck sucks. You could almost say that bad luck is bad luck. Okay. Sorry. I will admit, I feel a lot weaker than in my last run. But I do have the burnt doll. Once again, bad luck. Doll's going to come into play in a moment, but I don't think it's going to matter.
What was he expecting?
Good question. Is Slippery Ice good? No, I think this is all bad. Got the Raven Hood. Increase connection by 2 if the pet is on the battlefield. Ah, but... although that will give me the 3-piece. Okay. The 3P might be worth it. I have earned the respect of the Fire Brothers, and it will definitely help me in the future. I'm going to make them my allies and purge the demonic plague from the northern gates. I was kind of hoping they'd give me an item or something, but whatever. So, now that we have the 3-piece of the Raven set, when we call off the pet, we deal 1 damage to a random enemy for each connection. We have about 20 connection, give or take, every turn, so that's 20 damage just to something's face. And again, I think we're going to double merchant here. Why? How? I should check to see if there's something I wanted here first. Which is not, thankfully. Why is it always you? Why? Thankfully, like I said, there's something here that I'm interested in, I don't think. It's not worth buying anything. It wasn't worth cutting a card here. But I did anyway. I encountered the mother of imps. She was coming in my direction, surrounded by her ill-mannered kids who behaved outrageously. They were screaming, fighting, grabbing at my clothes, and trying to snatch something. I could have whispered it all silently so as not to anger the mama demon herself, but she initiated the conversation. Well, every time. Where are your kids? I don't have children. Huh? Well then, birth them. Sure. Huh? Well then, I'll be off to have children? Hurry up! Goodbye. Okay. Sure. Show me the goods, please. Okay. We have the Robber 2P. Which I actually could technically use. Technically is doing some heavy lifting here. I guess the Bone Bow might be the play, actually. Just for a little bit of self-sustain. It's basically a better version of our starter bow. We cut some cards as well. So Embers are dealing 12 burn, and they're about to deal 16 burn. We don't care about this card. And we don't care about this card. So our deck is literally Embers, Immunity, this evasion that we're going to burn, and then a defensive card. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Nice, thin deck. The armory of the palace is guarded by a squad of formidable guards, but you can negotiate with their captain. That crook steals equipment from the warehouse and sells it for 200 coins apiece. 200 coins is insulting. Well.
You've acquired a taste for buffs.
That is unfortunate. I think this guy is the scariest, actually. Are you giving me these bad looks? Because honestly, if you are, that's rude. I kind of miss the Helmet of America, I'm not gonna lie. You know what I don't miss? Deleting units with Hugin. Okay. Goodbye. While I was dealing with the guards, the captain ran away like a coward. He's probably got the keys, and you can't get into the armory without them. Oh, come on, Vanadis, where's your lock-picking skills from being a bandit? Welp. That's the 4-piece. If there are only attacks left in hand, inflict 2 burning for each card in hand on all enemies. That or the troll bow. Oh, it has to be the troll bow, right? There are only attacks left in hand, inflict 2 burning for each card in hand on all enemies. Can I do that? Izukan has attacks. Is that when I end my turn? When does this trigger? I actually don't remember. Increase the damage dealt by Vanadis and Pet's attack by 1 for each of the target's frostbite. I think it's just the troll bow. What a weird moment. I think it's literally just the troll bow, though. Interesting. This gives us balm, like the big bow, but it also makes it so we can play around exposed, which is not something we can do right now. Oh, should I have trained first and then taken an Emperor? I actually don't know. Anyway, that is gonna be Sigismund. Now, we are in a bit of an odd position here against Sigismund. Let's see how we fare. Sigismund has done a lot of harm in the Northern Gate. It's hard to believe he used to be a good guy. I feel a bit sorry for him. He secretly envied his brother. What's the big deal? It is unpleasant, but it can happen to anyone. If the demons had not taken it upon themselves to corrupt his soul, he would have remained a decent person for all of his flaws. Nobody's perfect. You know, now that I'm thinking about this, it might be this for this fight. Because this increases our max health, which we can play around our immunity, reducing our max health. Okay, so how much damage is this? Okay, lose 5. So the reason why I said that this fight can be... We have something funny to play around here. We have 16 connection. Vanadis is the easiest character to burn Sigismund down with. Does this damage go through block? Nope. Or yes. And no. Oh, we got hit by the YOLO 20. Okay. So, our goal is to try and just burn him out. Oh, I did summon Hugin here. Oops. That was a mistake. Excuse me. That's a lot of damage you're dealing for no reason. Why does this cost 1 now? You know what? It doesn't matter. Okay. All my evasions are in play. I think we're going to be able to just cheese him, team. I think we're cheesing Sigismund again. That is very unfortunate. But I don't think I care. In fact, can I get them to burn each other? I got them to burn one. That's fine. Cool. Sigismund. Oh, Sigismund. Yes, hit Hugin. He's immune. Do it. You fool!
What did you counter it with?
I'm sorry, are you trying to full heal right now? Um... 24. No, Sigismund, that's not allowed.
Are there any side effects?
I don't think so. GG, team. We did it. We cheesed Sigismund yet again.
Living torch.
Now it's just this
Blast
lady.
it all.
No, it's fine. And by playing this, Hugin has exhausted, or we have exhausted our summons of Hugin, which means everything in my deck is free. And I get some insubstantiality, just for funsies. Isn't that great? I actually don't want to lose that much health. Although I do have 19 ball. That happened somehow.
The enemy decided to defend.
Yep. She defended all right. Oh, that felt good. GG. Alrighty. What potion do we want to put here? Probably a health potion, right? I don't think we need the strength potion. Cool. My pet is useless against this automaton. More of a burden than a help. Does Milenis want me to defeat the automaton on my own? Anyway, why should I care about what Milenis wants? Why am I even thinking about that? I don't know. I have noticed that most of Vanillus's tarots, upon summoning a pet, gains 1 immune and shares with all automaton pots. Aw, that sucks. Damn. So I have 2 plays here. Play 1 is to try and kill the low health parts. To get rid of them. Play 2 is to burn the middle parts. To then use Hugin to cleave down the rest of them. And I think that's what we're doing. I need to start building up some balm here. Okay, we have enough evasion for this. We also have grace. Man, this sucks. This is a shit hand. A shit hand of all shit hands. But we got rid of bad luck, which is fine. And it appears again. Okay. I think I will immune this with our Mandrake Root. We have potions. We should use them. This is the final fights. If I don't use them now, what am I going to use them? What am I doing? Saving them for the next game? Pummeling a card. Allies take 4 damage. Allies? Not me. This can turn into Frostbite, or this is 16 burn. Frostbite might be the play, actually. All my evasion's gone. Did it consume my evasion during my immunity? Okay. I have no mana. I will survive. This was done. How much damage is this? Wait, hold on. 20. I live at like 4. I can restart the battle, but I think I live at 4. Although poison... I might just restart this real quick.
Dash it all.
Okay, great. I'm surprised I can restart it, but I'm glad I can. I like the plan, though. I think the plan is solid. I just had really, really bad draws, and then I consumed my evasion. I didn't realize the evasions would be procced through immunity. I probably won't edit that either. I'll let you watch my questionable decision-making. Alright. We'll eat this with our evasions. That was also the last of our ward to go. Yeah, this has been... Okay, so they're going to consume all of our evasion right here, and we just let it happen. We have 20 connections, so I might as well not increase it. Alright, now we're going to look for the immunity potion. If it needs to be done. Do what must be done. That was not worth it. Okay, now we immune. And we play the, now we just play, I'm glad I restarted. I don't think I would have survived. We play the Will to Live now every turn. Okay, good to know. I immune that, which makes sense. Middle part's dead. And I think that's GG. GG. Go away, Hugan. Alright. We're looking for the Will to Live again. There it is. And that, looks like a dub in my book. The Will to Live is so strong. Combining it with the Bone Bow was so smart, too. Because once we start taking dot damage, this just triggers by itself to increase our max HP, which then, of course, we sacrifice for greatness. GG. I don't think I would have survived if I didn't restart. I might have... I definitely would have had to, heal, though. But anyway, GG. The final automaton is felled. I still use Hugan here. Wow, that looks very strange on my HDR monitor. There's like a lot of spots here. But hey! Defeated. And all eyes. Well, first of all, the lovers conquered. Every single tarot and its prophecy has been completed. Except for Judgment, which... It was bugged. I did my best. I tried. But now, what did this unlock? Why did we do this? We did it for this. The Fool. The end of the road. The main character steps out of the shadows. Bjorn, Vanadis, Percival. Who is the main character? I don't know. But we'll find out next time. It looks like it could be Zerathos. Could also be Mortis, I suppose, although Mortis doesn't have a cape. But that's musing for next time. When the Fool steps out of the shadows. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you to the patrons and the channel members who support the channel. I greatly appreciate you. If you'd like to stay up to date and have a channel, feel free to join the description down below. And I will see you next time for the Fool and the beginning of the end.